Yeah, we're a team.
You go
Hi. Okay. Great to see everybody.
first. Again.
So glad you made it.
Yeah.
How many of you were here last year? How many of you were here last year? Because I don't want to tell the same thing, the same stories. Well, not too many, so that's good. And you probably forgot anyway.
Yeah. Do
If
you
you're like
remember?
me.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, it's great to be here, as always. This is my second time, as always. The weather is amazing, I just have to say. The first time I tried to come, we were snowed out. I couldn't make it in. Last year, I think it snowed a little bit while we were here. And then this year is just gorgeous. Don't know how to pack for Denver. Anyway, well, I'd just like to say a few things about Dad. We're just, every year, we can't believe that this is actually happening. You know, we think back over the years, and who knew when we were all bopping around with Dad and playing and watching his cool tricks and listening to his writing and the way he talked, and that we'd be here today like this. But I think it's well deserved.
Yeah.
I'm glad he is, his talents have been recognized and not overshadowed by the rest of the stuff.
Who is that, David?
I don't know. I just wanted to say a few of my memories of Dad. First of all, we loved him to death. He was just like one of us. He was a kid. He was very childlike, and when he was home, we got to play. He was not the disciplinarian, poor Mom, but he had such talent in so many areas. I can remember all his tricks, his coin tossing, and his, we'd pull coins out of our ears and do all kinds of, grab one leg and jump through it. You try that.
Forward and back.
Yeah, forward and back. Yeah. He was just very athletic and loved to play ball and loved sports, and he was always running around with us. I can remember playing Red Rover out in the front yard, and I can remember one time I ran to the fence and up against the fence, and a nail went straight through my hand. I still have the scar, but that was playing with Dad. All out, we just ran around and had fun. And I can remember when he was home, he was always hungry, really starving. And we'd fix him. I can remember making toast for breakfast. We used the broiler, and we would take out the shelf in the oven and lay down toast, and broil it, and he'd just eat it all. I think at least 5 slices for breakfast, and plus bacon and eggs and everything. He just scarfed. And his long baths, of course. Yeah, he'd be in the tub for hours and reading the racing forms and the pink? Was it pink?
Well, green.
Green.
Was the
Green pages, yeah. And he just turned the water, let a little water drain out and then put in some more hot so he could stay in there, which I find myself doing these days. It's so weird. I totally forgot Dad did that until I started doing it. It's very relaxing. And then he would always be delighted. We could tell he was delighted in being with us, and he was very, very interested in everything we did and thought, and he always felt it was necessary to teach us. We were always learning, and he was always teaching us, especially in his letters. I remember anytime he wrote a word, he'd say, "Do you know what that means? Go look it up." And he was very much, of course, very much into language, and he really shared that with us. And we always learned a lot, and he was very interested in educating us any chance he got. So I think those are the main memories I have of when we were young, when it was really fun having him around. And then when I got to be a teenager, I was totally embarrassed. He'd come home with the big posters, "Can you pass the acid test?" And I'd go, "Oh, Dad."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't party with him like Jamie and John did.
You missed out, honey. Yeah.
I was Miss Goody Two Shoes. I was trying to be perfect, and missed out on all the fun. So Jamie can tell you about that.
I can't remember that.
No, really. Yeah, that's what happens. I can't either, but I don't have the excuse.
Yeah.
Old age. Anyway, those are some of my memories, and now we'll hand it over to Jamie.
Good job.
Hello again, everybody. Great to see you as usual. John could not make it this year. He wanted to very much, but he could not make it. And so I brought along, I'm going to read a chapter of his new book that my husband and I put together of his writings. He had done a couple of chapters in 2007 that the Beat Museum published. And Randy and I, when we were cleaning out Mom's house in London after she passed, we found the CD of all 9 of his stories. So we had it quickly published just for now. We're going to do it better later. But John is a great, great writer, and he really captured a lot of, excuse me, greatness about our father when he was younger and as our father. So if you get a chance, it's called Visions of Neil, and I'm going to read an excerpt from chapter 8 that John wrote. I hope I don't start crying, because we miss John very much. This is chapter 8. He goes, it's hard to read here. My father was a complex soul. He was a man of many facets, of which I knew only a few. A sparkling diamond in the rough, as my mother pointed out. He affected everyone who came in contact with him. Some viewed him as a lovable con man. They knew he was absolutely charming their socks off so that he could gain something for himself. Money, dope, sex, shelter, or love. They knew that he knew that they knew, and they loved him anyway. He was mostly undeniable. If you study his childhood, it's amazing that he could balance all his passions in this life without bitterness or intentionally being hurtful to others. He could shift gears in a heartbeat, a loving father, husband, hardworking breadwinner, writer, rogue, driver, ladies' man, philosopher, rapper, storyteller, saint, or sinner. They were all attributes within his grasp at a moment's notice. But his spirit and wisdom came through, regardless of the situation in which he found himself. He had such a highly evolved mind and soul, and by all accounts, he touched so many others whom he encountered on his path in a myriad of magical and mystical ways, recounted in story and song by those lucky enough to be within his orbit, that I hardly cared if their stories were fact, fiction, myth, or legend. They're all good. And he goes on to tell a funny story that I was going to read, but I think that's enough for now. Just hopefully you can have a chance to read his great writing, and we miss him. And other than that, Kathy explained Dad pretty well. Most of my stories are exactly the same. It's funny how when we were first starting to talk about Dad, all 3 of us get together in a room, and we all had a different story of the same exact event. It was just amazing, laughing and saying, that's not what happened, come on, you know. That was really fun, but now I guess I kind of, everything you're saying sounds right. So over time, we get together. But what do you think? Anything else, or just?
Well, I was going to say, I hope you all can make it to the next events this weekend.
Yes, tomorrow night, and
Go
well,
ahead, you can tell me.
well, I forgot the name of it, but Mark can help us out here tomorrow night. The panel, Kathy and I are going to be on it too, and a lot of other great writers and historians about Dad in Denver. And then Sunday, of course, the showing of the fabulous documentary that Heather and Joshua did. Yes. Where'd she go? Anyway, Neil Cassidy, the Denver years. Okay, good. And it's just absolutely amazing. The Cassidy family completely supports it and loves it, and I'm so, so pleased. So I hope you all get to buy one or come and see it, and we'll be there too. And they're also going to Skype Al Hinkle, who couldn't make it because of health, but he's doing excellent at 88. Randy and I just saw him last Monday in San Jose. And we're going to have some things that Al has sent along also at Sunday's event. So it'd be neat to kind of get all that together in the movie and everything. It's just going to be wonderful. So, yeah, Mark, thank you.
Want to thank Mark so much for putting this together and
every year.
all his crew
Maryland.
and Marilyn too, for allowing us to be here.
Yes,
Yeah,
all the crew.
very generous of her. Really appreciate it.
So come next year, we'll be here again. And,
Hope to see you then.
yeah, really.
Hope to
Good
not see you then.
Bye.